Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Turkey has got its gold back. Turkey had joined the ranks of Germany and Hungary as the latest country which brought back its gold to home base, according to reports from the country's media. This article comes to us from Kitco News. The actual story itself about the repatriation of gold, I want to thank Onus Kronos for sending me information about this. Reports from Turkish media outlet Yeni Şafak suggested that the country brought back all of its gold stored in the U.S. Federal Reserve. The reports published Thursday indicate that the country repatriated 220 tons from the U.S. sometime last year. At the time of publication, Kitco News was unable to confirm the news. The country's gold reserves currently rank 11th in the world, behind India, with about 526 metric tons, according to the data compiled by the statistics portal. As of March 2018, the Turkish Central Bank said its gold reserves amounted to $25.3 billion worth. Analysts told Kitco News that the move is likely politically motivated rather than economic. The consensus being that Turkey is sending a message to the U.S., with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan making currency his priority. The decision has more political intonation than economic, managing director of RBC Wealth Management George Agero said, or Gero, on Friday. Turkey is trying to shore up their currency. And I think repatriation has a lot to do with currency pairs trading, which kind of makes sense, especially in the East, because, you know, it's gold is valued much more than in the West. So earlier this week, Erdogan called for the IMF loans to be paid in gold and not U.S. dollars. Turkish media reported Erdogan is saying these debts should be in gold because at this point, the carat of gold is unlike anything else. The world is continually putting us under currency pressure with the dollar. We need to have states and nations from this currency pressure. All right. The benefits of holding gold are unique as the yellow metal market is becoming more international, Gero explained. With gold, there's no political allegiance. That's right. Gold makes a lot of countries comfortable as a holding, especially if they fear inflation. He said many countries prefer to hold their own gold. We saw Venezuela repatriate their gold as well some time ago, but they basically have hoarded it themselves and among the elites there, and it has no effect because they just continue with their socialistic policies. Some theorize that this message that Turkey may be sending is more independence, explaining that there could be a lot of political back-channel discussions happening between Turkey and the U.S. Also driving Turkey's intentions is fear, and all gold ETFs are oversubscribed, said Todd Horowitz, chief market strategist for BubbaTrading.com. There's a fear that you won't have enough gold to cover the amount of all traded ETFs. Well, that fear is heavily founded because there's a lot more paper gold and silver out there than there are the actual metals. That much is obvious. Governments want to hold physical gold in their own vaults. A lot of these countries don't really trust the entire system either. But, you know, the other thing, too, about having it here in the U.S. is the security of it being here. If you have a coup, like almost happened in Turkey, well, then your gold is at risk. For sure. There is the gold prices were trading lower on Friday, pressured down by firmly U.S. dollar index, and actually today they are as well. Options expire next week. COMEX gold futures were trading at 1339.10, down 0.72% on the day. The gold repatriation trend was kicked off by Germany last summer, when the central bank completed the move of 674 metric tons from the vault of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York to the Banque de France 3 years ahead of schedule. And prior to that, Germany had repatriated 940 tons of gold from the Bank of England. Hungary followed in March when the country's central bank said that it was planning to bring back 100,000 ounces of gold back from London. The reason behind the decision was a strengthened market confidence, according to local media reports. Now, there's a trend there in lying. Of course, we've seen precious metal prices going down today, but other media reports, especially this one here from Sputnik News, I assume a Russian source says, has decided to bring back, the Turkish central bank has decided to bring back its 220 tons of gold worth from the U.S. country's largest commercial banks. And let's see here if we can get a scammer on the line. Hello?
Richard, how you doing? This is Darren.
Hello, Darren. How you doing? I was just in the middle of talking about Turkey repatriating their gold. And by the way, this is Richard's business partner, Sal, but you can call me Salivate for short. And so we've got this article by, it looks like to be a Russian news source here, saying that Turkey's gold repatriation is a sign of a coming end of U.S.-dominated monetary system. What do you think about that?
Hold on, wait a minute. You got to run that back to me one more time.
Okay, Turkey's, essentially the headline from Sputnik News says that Turkey's gold repatriation is a sign of the coming end of the U.S.-dominated monetary system. So if I get a loan from you, those dollars may not be worth much, according to this article here.
Well, you don't really want to know how I feel about the U.S. monetary system.
Well, yes, actually I do. I'm very curious. What do you think about it?
I mean, what I think about it is, that's always been something that, that's been up for debate. I feel like we always been in a position where our money really, is never worth, much because of how much we end up printing and how much debt we're in. But, that's what, essentially, in my opinion, America was kind of built off of is, that debt type of factor. So, I just feel like it just kind of adds to the long list of things of okay, what else? It's just very tough with how large our foundation is for us to really crumble like that, and for the value of our dollar to really depreciate. And the reason why I say that, I take it instance of 2008, where there's no way we should have bailed out the people that we bailed out, but for whatever reason, we did. I just can go on and on about it. I just think it's something definitely to think about. The value of our dollar being, not worth as much, but I just think it's one of those things that's going to be very tough to do because of how the foundation was built, on how America was built with money. This is kind of my take on it.
Well, you know what? You are smarter than I thought. You're exactly right. And but you're missing one small element of it. But
okay.
But I'll give you an example to bolster your point. From 2016 to today, the dollar has lost 11% of its value by certain metrics. And so you're exactly right. So really, in a sense, now the dollar is strong. We have the dollar index up now, and obviously this is Russian media, so I take it for a grain of salt. But nonetheless, we have sort of a sense of hubris in this country because our money is debt based. The Federal Reserve note, every time you look at a dollar bill, it says this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. But you know what the foundation, how the way this country was founded, you touched on it, but didn't quite get there. I'm going to get there for you, though, my friend.
Okay.
Constitutional money is silver and gold. That's right. And this is why Turkey is repatriating their gold from the Federal Reserve, like Germany has and Hungary has. And they say it's for political reasons, and there could be a lot of political reasons why as such. I still have faith in the dollar. We do. That's why you're calling me today, because you're calling to get some interest dollars off of me from this loan. But I tell you what, if I was to get a loan from you, my friend, I would like to have that in gold and silver. What do you think?
If I could get it to you in gold and silver, that's something I would do. I hear you on that one.
That would be so
That's not.
cool.
Yeah. That would be something else.
Well, thanks, man. Well, I'll tell you what, I do actually need to go, but we'll touch base later. Have your machine call my machine, and remember, keep your feet on the stars and keep reaching for the ground. Thank you so much, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Wow. You know, once in a while, I do run across one of these scammers, and I think some of them are actually kind of nice people. They're just desperate for work, so they'll do one of these jobs and work for some loan agency that's kind of shady just to pay the bills. And I think that's the case with Devin. I think that's his name. Anyways, so there you have it. He brought out some really good points. So maybe this headline has some meaning. But you know, the thing is yeah, I think that there's not really a coming end, at least anytime soon, of our dominated monetary system. Because the dollar index is up, gold and silver are down as of the recording of this video. But nonetheless, it is what it is. We shall see where it goes from here. But post your thoughts below. What do you think about this news? I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to y'all for watching and encourage you to please rate, comment, and subscribe.